This is an examination of the hidden human condition.
This is the Hidden Killers Podcast
with Tony Brueski.
Retired FBI Special Agent Robin Dreeke joining us. We're talking about the Kouri Richins case and the upcoming murder trial that she faces. But in the meantime, a lot of civil action going on. She initially pulling the trigger on that one, seeking quite a bit of her dead husband's estate and citing that, well, you know, the prenuptial agreement stated that I would get this. The only problem here is you're accused of killing the person whose prenuptial agreement you want honored. A countersuit for $13 million has since been filed by the family of her deceased husband, right back at Kouri for trying to claim that she's entitled to many of those things that her husband himself actually had the beneficiary changed over to his sister prior to his death because he was concerned that his wife might kill him. Robin, what's your take on the civil suits?
Well, as we're seeing in this case, all we keep seeing in the arc of this woman's life is money, money, money.
Yeah.
Sex, lies, and videotapes. That old cliche. I mean, it's seemingly clearly all that keeps happening is what she keeps giving the prosecution more and more armor, more and more reason to go down that road of her motivations. Mm-hmm. And because it's so clear, it's been money the entire time and still is. And I think it's completely legit. When I was reading this, it made me, happy that happy is a weird word for it. It made me say, wow, that's a really good move. What the parents and what the state is doing to countersue and go back for that money. One, it doesn't give her money as much money to get the high power defense that she's requiring for this. Mm-hmm. And then also because it is a separate suit from the murder, then that way, if she even in some strange world gets acquitted of that, at least she's still on the hook for that. So in other words, her main objective of saying that she did it, her main objective was to kill her husband to get the money. Mm-hmm. Well, if she doesn't get the money, then at least there's some small justice in comparison to that. And just I'm still just, every time we dabble into her, we've said it numerous times, is I am completely amazed at her lack of intelligence when it came to going about this entire thing. She's so sloppy with everything she's done. The
intelligence, the audacity that she seems to display and be completely blind and immune to what that looks like to the outside looking in at her, to her state of well-being or the actions that she's taking. It looks incredibly incriminating. And one could argue, well, she needs money for the trial itself. But she's also, she clearly does have some money. Granted, this would cost a bit of change to defend yourself. Kate Richins Benson, this is Eric's sister, she's accusing Kouri of stealing other estate property after Eric's death, including at least $225,000 in cash, theater room furniture, electric motorcycle, a flatbed trailer, several vehicles, off-road vehicles, ATVs, and other recreational vehicles, in total estimated around $300,000 that she could have gotten by selling a lot of these items off. It makes you wonder. It seems as if her goal of getting rid of her husband and profiting and then living this happy life all tumbled down, and now she's just trying to scrounge up as much cash as she can to keep herself out of prison for the rest of her life.
Maybe. What's interesting about this too, as you're going through all those numbers, and she's like scraping everything. Mm-hmm. And so we were just talking about Kohberger and the things you'll do when you're addicted to drugs. So let's just shift the fact that she is just regard her as an addict, and her addiction is money. Mm-hmm. And when you're addicted to getting money, and it's literally an addiction, and then you have that lack of empathy because you're edging up towards psychopathy, what wouldn't you do to fuel that addiction? And obviously, this is what she's accused of.
Yeah.
And so what you're seeing is someone who's addicted. It's kind of like gambling. It's drugs. It's food. It's all the addictions that people have in life to fill a void, to fill a hole, to fill this emotional disconnect we have from something. And so they're trying to pacify that pain that they're feeling in some way. And this is hers. Hers is obviously money.
That's very interesting. That makes a lot of sense in this case as to why she allegedly did what she did. It is very much the behavior of an addict. They'll do anything to get from point A to point B. And if money's that goal, that's damned whoever be standing in their way.
I know, because look at all the little things she's going for. It's like if you're addicted to cocaine, it's like every little gram matters, man. Mm-hmm. Well, same thing here. Look, it's like every single little dollar, or I mean, she's going for millions, but then something as small as a couple hundred, she seems to be scraping that bottom as well. I mean, it's like everything matters to her. It's literally like watching an addict trying to get every fix she possibly can.
You're consuming the Hidden Killers podcast.
Want more? Start binging on all of our true crime podcasts right now through Apple Podcasts and get an ad-free experience when you sign up to be a True Crime Today Premium Plus member exclusively on Apple Podcasts.
More of the Hidden Killers podcast dropping soon.
Press subscribe now.